welcome back to another video. Today here with another week's episode of Test Drive Unlimited Platinum. You guys still seem to be enjoying these, so we're going to be carrying on with the series for, well, for a little while longer anyway. I'm probably only going to be doing these on videos because I'm not sure streaming from the PC and playing on the PC particularly works. But we seem to have smoothed out the glitchiness of recording on here by recording in small segments and got the settings all kind of how I want them. But anyway, last time out we bought this Group G class RS200, so classic class, and we also have the Group F Fiat and Group E Ferrari. So today's kind of goal is to get hold of a Group D class vehicle as well. I believe we have one more garage space in here, so we're probably mostly going to be racing the Ferrari as well as probably the RS a bit as well, the Ford RS. But anyway, we'll drive out in the Ford, see what races are available for this and the Ferrari. If you haven't, oh, the steering wheel goes through his leg. Yeah, if you didn't see me buying this car at the end of last episode, basically, well, listen to this. When it changes gear, it's just brilliant. Anyway, I'm going to find us and race. Okay, so the first race is in fact in the Ferrari. We can enter this in the Classic, can't enter this in the Ford. Although it looks like we have some quite nice cars in here. Interesting stuff like the Stinger. But the one I'm interested in, or the one I love, obviously is the Aston Martin at the front. Got a Vanquish up there. Which I would very much like to buy one of in this game. Actually, we probably need to head up to the Aston Martin dealer, because something in there is surely in D category, which is what I'm looking for. Last time we played TGU Platinum, I of course had the new Vantage in the garage, so either we'll get one of those, or that's a very nice, actually I'm not sure it is a Vanquish, it might just be a DB9. It's a DBS, isn't it? That's why I love it. Right, on to the final lap. We are struggling a little bit getting the power down out of the corners in this thing. And the Aston is faster in the straight line, so that's where I've been gaining time in the corners. But that's where I'm likely to make a mistake on this car. Anyway, we seem to be alright at the moment. This corner's always fun as well. I outbrake myself on the first lap, so I'm being too cautious into here subsequently. And there we go. We took the win fairly convincingly in the end. How much do we get for this? Hopefully we'll have our balance over 100,000 again. Yeah, nice. So yeah, I will just keep going with the races unless any car delivery missions appear. In which case, obviously, I'll do those because they're worth more and it means we get to drive something interesting. Anyway, wow, that's a fast P1. Yeah, let's go and find another event to do. So, next up is a speed trap challenge. Again in the Ferrari. I will try to do at least one event in the Ford. I'm just going by the ones that are nearest roads that I've driven to at the moment. It kind of makes sense rather than starting to do a lot of driving, but we are going to have to explore further north at some point. No, don't turn, police car. There we go. I think you can pretty much just follow the road and you will hit the speed traps, usually. Yeah, I'm not sure how we get over to that one. Oh. Hello, police car. Okay.
Dispatch, we lost the suspect. Suspect escaped. I repeat, suspect escaped. Roger, Adam unit. Keep looking for the suspect.
Can I view the map while I'm in here? No. So I have no idea how we get to that one. I'm guessing we turn this way. But we've not actually got that long to get to it, so I hope it's not far. Okay, that's fine. 122, we're well clear of the 115 targets, so. And luckily there's a finish race button, so we can just do that. And there's another 12,000, so $138,000 in the bank. Not bad going. That should be enough for some of the D-Class vehicles. Let's see what's next. So, yet another event in the Ferrari. There was a time trial which we had driven past getting to the last event, so it was fast travelable to get to. 2 minutes 20. Let's see how we get on. That's the reference time we need to beat along here. But yeah, let's see how much we can beat that by. Slight scrape on that pickup truck coming around there, but I think the finish line is coming up along here, and we've got 17, 18. No, we haven't quite done it. We might have to do that one again. Let's try doing that slightly faster without hitting anything. It should be possible. Well, obviously it's possible. It should be possible in this car. I think I can do it. Anyway, let's see if we beat it this time. I think we're making much better time this time. Still not overly generous, but it's quite a lot. Yeah, we're quite far clear of it. Right, excellent. Okay, how much do we get for that? Another 10, 150,000. Let's see what else we can do. Aha, so we have a delivery mission. It's not a car delivery mission, it's a package delivery mission, which we can do in the Ferrari, so we will do this in the Ferrari.
Can I count on you? I have this little package that needs to be delivered to a friend of mine. You understand? No funny business with the cops.
Yeah, deliver dodgy packages, right. Oh, there's the box. It is on the timer, this kind of mission, which is the ones I had trouble with before, because traffic that wasn't visible I was hitting. For some reason, there's a slight glitch with it last time I played this, so hopefully we don't have that problem anymore. We've got to do 6 miles in under 4 minutes, which is, well, it should be doable. Let's see how we get on. Luckily there's no, like, damage-o-meter thing. But we do have to be careful not to get the police interested.
At the next intersection, turn left. Turn left.
Which, speeding in a bright yellow Ferrari is not the most discreet way to deliver something, but anyway. Okay, well that was quite easy. We ended up with quite a lot of time left, but there was a long straight section where we made up a lot of time at the end there. Nice. Well, we get 40,000, I think, for that. Yeah, so $190,000. Those kind of missions do get you loads, any kind of delivery. Particularly the car ones, but even those ones are pretty good. But anyway, let's try and earn ourselves a little bit more money before we start doing some car shopping. So again, using the Ferrari, this might end up being the only car we do use today, actually, after me saying I want to try and use the Ford, but another time trial. This is probably the last one that's easy to drive to, so might be time to see what we can get for in D-Class for 200 grand after this, because some of the dealerships are going to require some driving to. Particularly want to visit the Aston Martin one, obviously, but there's a few others up that way that I would quite like to take a look at, possibly after we've done this race, because we might already have enough for some selection of D-Class vehicles to choose between. But again, if what I want is not affordable, I won't buy it. I will wait until I can afford what I do want. But yeah, we'll go and have a look after this, probably. Well, that was relatively straightforward to do first time. And we should now have exactly, well, $600 over, but 200,600 to look at cars within that budget, I guess, is probably the next move. Although, yeah, I've driven through this road across now, though, so it should mean these are more accessible without having to drive all the way up the coast. And this is now unlocked, this speed challenge. So, yeah, there's a few more events available. But I think if we switch this to key locations, so we looked at some of these dealerships before. I think Japanese Classics as far up here as we came, but it's not that far to Aston Martin, British Independent, Jaguar, Bugatti Volvo, another mixed dealership, I think that's probably locked, motorbikes, Subaru. So there's a few up here. We'll at least explore these three, probably starting with Aston. I have actually seen there are more. We will still start with Aston, but there's some quite interesting cars over here and up this way. Somewhere down here is Lamborghini as well, which actually we've driven the road to now. Okay, slight change of plan. We will still drive to British Independence in a minute, but this is travelable too. Not sure anything will be in D category, and if it is within the price range. Okay, so we can get a Gallardo, or a Gallardo Spider, or a facelift Gallardo. Not quite a facelift Gallardo Spider. I did always have every time I've played this before, I've had a first gen Gallardo Spider. Obviously with the Platinum mod we've got the updated cars. But this is a dealership, isn't it? I really miss Lamborghini in the second game, so glad it's coming back for Solar Crown. So, yeah, this is always one of my favourite dealerships. Back when I played this many, many years ago, first time I played this was probably the only real high-end dealership I discovered. I didn't play at masses, so this is always the first sort of high-end supercars you came to on the original game. So yeah, tempting as that is, it's not really in the right category. Obviously we've got Group A, Group B. This is the, yeah, LP640, and that's the original. So yeah, I don't think there's anything here we can buy now, but I do want to add probably a Gallardo Spider, but probably not this one, probably the facelift. So that's probably a car for me to buy when I'm looking for a B-class vehicle. But for now, let's go to the British Independence that we were trying to get to. So when I said British Independence, I meant Aston Martin, but the British Independent dealership was actually on the way to Aston Martin, so we have ended up coming here first to see what is available. But yeah, Aston's probably what I'm after, although there will be some very cool things in here. This is the same class as the Ferrari we're in at the moment. We're looking for something a little bit faster. Maybe an Exige 240R, which I think I've had in this game before, so maybe not, because I generally avoid having things I've already owned in this game. Obviously we'll try and own many of these cars at some point. But Group C, Group F is slower than our Ferrari. Yeah, really we're looking for Group D, like I say. So I think that Lotus is the first, well, it's the first thing we've seen that's a potential purchase. Right, what else have we... Ooh, I tell you what, that's very cool actually, an Esprit V8. That's too slow, that's too fast, although again, very cool. Interestingly, the Bentayga is Group D, not really what I was looking for and out of budget, but apparently SUVs are slightly OP in this mod, so in terms of racing that probably wouldn't be too bad. But yeah, I think our only real option in this dealership is the Exige. Anyway, let's go and check out some of the Astons. Okay, so it's actually surprisingly close to Aston. We've got two Vantages sitting outside there, very cool. I love the little animation pulling up to the dealership in you. Well, in this case, Ferrari. Let's see what we've got in here. What a beautiful dealership. So, DB7 Vantage Zagato. Zagato ruined DB7 essentially. It is in the right class, but it's, well, hideous and very expensive. That's very cool, V12 Vantage, but that's Group C. Virage is Group D. That's interesting, Virage, I forgot that was in here. That was, of course, what sat between the DB9 and the DBS, and then eventually became the facelifted DB9. But that was only... they're quite rare, actually. Well, the ones that are actually called Virage, although it's technically just a DB9. So we could have a Virage, but I kind of feel like the DBS really is the one I want, so I should probably wait until Group C to get hold of that. Interesting, the Vanquish is in Group C. I would have thought it wasn't necessarily faster than the Virage. It's an older model. New Vanquish, C-Class, that's cool as well. Vantage is B, interesting. So they reckon the new Vantage is faster than the Vanquish. DB11 also in B-Class, and 177, very expensive. So yes, I could afford an Aston Martin Vantage, which would be very cool, but it's B when we're really looking for a D-Class vehicle. So I think the Lotus is probably our best bet. I mean, it doesn't really matter what order you buy them in. Or there is this for 160,000, but so far I think the Lotus is probably the sensible choice. Because like I say, really that's what I want, which I will buy probably as my C-Class vehicle. Anyway, let's check out a couple more dealerships before we possibly buy the Lotus. That's what it's looking like at the moment. So, Jaguar Land Rover dealership with some XKRs outside, very nice. Let's see, because these will generally be slightly lower performance than the Astons, and slightly cheaper but also very good looking. It's basically the same dealership, isn't it? Okay, the XK 4.2 convertible is in E category, as is the coupe. Because they're cool if you don't quite want that. If you don't quite want an Aston, or you don't quite want the performance of an Aston, I guess. The old XKR is actually faster. Well, these are XKs, not ours, so... That is... The old XKR was capable of 220... Are you sure? Anyway, that's quite a cool option. I do quite like those. That's C, so that's a little bit fast. And then the F-Type is B. But also in D-Class we have an XFR, so the saloon. That could be quite interesting, because we don't actually have a saloon anymore. Group D, that's Group B, obviously the XJ220, a little bit too fast. Range Rover Group F, again, too slow, although kind of cool. E, E, E. Yeah, so the only real contender in here is the old XKR, which is quite cool. I don't know what I'd pick actually between that and the Lotus, but yeah, still a couple more dealerships to take a look at while we're making our mind up about that. Okay, so now we pull up to one of the strangest
You have reached your
dealerships in the
destination.
game, the Bugatti and Volvo dealership, because of course they're a typical pair of manufacturers. So Bugattis are going to be way too quick and way too expensive, but some of the Volvos might be in the category we're looking for. Yeah, 900,000 Group A, 2.7 million Group A, 4 million Group A. Bugatti, I think that's a prize car actually. S60 is E-Class, so it's too slow. Newer S60 is also that class, that's slow. Yeah, thought that might be the case. Okay, so that hasn't really helped. There's still a mixed dealership that we can have a look at before we probably end up settling on the Lotus. So this
reached your
is,
destination.
well, it says, yeah, pretty sure this is a mixed dealership. In the mod it says Pontiac, but yeah, there's a mixed one, and I think there's some kind of Japanese one, or Subaru. Subaru is the logo showing on another dealership down the road, so but this is quite interesting. We've got an older RX-7, but that's Group F, Group E, so some of these are a little bit slow compared to what we're looking for. There's a lot of Group E vehicles. E, B, so then suddenly too fast. Yeah, there's a lot of, and there's yeah, that as well, which you can convert into a super van, I believe, but we haven't unlocked tuning yet, so that's not really an option. These are a little bit too much. Well, not in terms of price, in terms of performance for what we're looking for at the moment. So yeah, there's a lot of E and a lot of faster than D. There's not a lot of D-class vehicles. Anyway, I think there's one more dealership we can look at before I probably will end up settling on the Lotus. So, Subaru dealership. It's the final place we're looking for. Yeah, I'm thinking Lotus, although the Jag might be a nice change, because I had the Lotus before, but the Lotus handles well, so. Okay, we've got Subaru Bruz, which is too slow. Subaru Impreza 22B, which is too slow. Subaru Impreza again, which is too slow. And another one that's too slow, and another one, and another one, and another one, and an even slower one. Yeah, that was slightly disappointing. I think I might have to do it again, just because it's such a good car. I think we're going to end up with the Lotus again. I'm going to do it. It's going to be good, I think. We're going to win more stuff in this than we would in the Jag, to be honest. Well, actually, there was two Lotus C's that we could get that were in. There was an Esprit V8. But you know what? I do love this generation of Exige, and it's probably going to be better. 155, it's going to be slower top speed, I imagine, than the, yeah, 170, 4.5 to 60. But this is probably going to be faster accelerated. No, it's the same. But it's going to handle better. So, I think this is our D-Class vehicle. So I will buy it, we'll give it a quick, well, I know you can test drive before you drive it, before you buy it I mean, but yeah, I will buy it, we'll give it a quick first drive, then head back over to the garage. What do we want for wheels? Do we want the stock ones? We probably want, yeah, those, I would imagine. Then we've got to choose a colour. Do we want yellow? Okay, Lotus Sport Yellow, Lotus Sport Black, Ardent Red, Chrome Orange, I don't think I really want Chrome, Krypton Green, which is interesting, Silver's a bit boring. I feel like you need quite a bright colour on a Lotus. Laser blue's cool. Cobalt blue. Bordeaux red. Racing green, or aubergine purple. We don't have a purple car yet in this game. Maybe I do need to go for that. I kind of like the green just because it's so bright, but the thing is, we're not really getting the most colourful of interiors. We seem to get yellow with a lot of the options, but not with that. So if I select that, then what can we do with... Okay, we can have like a blue... We can have the cream, or we can have like a blue accent. So if I was to go for that, for example, we could then have... But I don't really want another blue car. So we'll go for something like that, and then... Ooh. Interesting. Okay, so if you go for a green... There's then a green interior option. I quite like that idea of a green on green. As cool as the purple is. It does look better in green, I'm afraid. And yellow seats maybe, but I'm not sure against the green I would want that. Or we could just go for it anyway. Hang on, what colour are the... Yeah, because we've got yellow brakes and stuff. I quite like it with the yellow, actually. Yeah, sure, let's go with that. Excellent. Right, we have another vehicle. Let's take it for a quick drive and then head back to the garage, which I think is now full. I don't expect to fit more than 4 vehicles in here. So... next episode, we'll carry on with more races, a lot of which will probably be in the Ferrari. But next up is to save up for a second house, I guess. Does sound good. Yeah, next up is to save up for a second house, which... Yeah, I'm pleased with this choice, actually. I do love the little Lotus. Even though I've had it in the standard version of the game and probably in the Platinum mod. Probably had it in the standard version each time I've played it. I don't think I did actually have it last time we played with the mod installed, so... yeah. Anyway, let's have a quick look at the map to see if... Ooh, interesting, there's a Rolls-Royce McLaren dealer down here, which... I shall have to visit at some point. Didn't spot that one. Yeah, a lot of these are further to drive to, but at some point maybe I need to do an exploring video. Driving our way up here to discover some of these. Although some races go in that direction, so it sort of naturally gets unlocked. But anyway, what I was trying to look at was whether there are any new events unlocked. Not really. I think it's just a matter of driving our way up this coast, because there's a few dealerships here as well, which I said I was going to check out, but we didn't actually look at. So I think next time I'll probably do these events, try and buy a house, and maybe take a look at some of the dealerships along there. But for now, let's quickly go back to our house to have a look at our now 4-car collection before we finish up the episode. But yeah, next time I'll try and do the events up that coast, save up for another property, and then we can start thinking about a C-class car, I guess. But that'll probably be the episode after that. But yeah, I want to do some of those challenges up there, have a look at some of the dealerships that side, and try and buy a house next time. But yeah, we've got our goal of getting hold of a D-class vehicle, the Lotus, which will be quite good. We'll probably win more easily in this than in some vehicles. So yeah, quite pleased with that choice, and it's a car that's not blue or yellow, which is a nice change. But anyway, Unfortunately didn't get to drive the Ford today, but maybe we'll drive that next episode, as well as the Ferrari, maybe to return to the Fiat, and of course the Lotus. But yeah, that is going to be all for this week's episode of Test Drive Unlimited Platinum, so do let me know if you've enjoyed it, and I'll be back with the next video very soon.